The world is watching as tensions rise across the globe. A new conflict is unfolding in Iran, but this is not just a regional war. Key players like Donald Trump, NATO, and China are already weighing in. What happens here could reshape global power in ways we haven't seen in decades. In the next few minutes, we'll break down the stakes, the alliances, and the impact of this crisis. This next image highlights one of the most strategic choke points in the world, the Strait of Hormuz, where Iran's actions have disrupted international shipping and sent shock waves through global trade. The Strait of Hormuz connects the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea and is the gateway for about a fifth of the world's oil exports. Since the escalation of the Iran war, vessel traffic through the narrow waterway has almost come to a halt, with tanker and cargo movements severely limited and many ships anchored outside the strait to avoid the risk of attack. Iran's warnings to ships and intermittent attacks on vessels have heightened fears among shipping companies, leading to rerouting around Africa and dramatic increases in insurance costs. In response, world leaders, including President Trump, have urged allied nations to consider naval escort missions to secure safe passage for commercial vessels through the strait, but so far, concrete escort operations remain uncertain as planners weigh the risks and dangers involved. The disruption at this choke point is not just about tankers. It affects not only oil and gas shipments, but also container cargo, supplies, and global markets. The situation in the Strait of Hormuz has become a focal point in this conflict, illustrating how a single maritime artery can influence world trade, security, and geopolitics. This image shows a section of an Iranian city heavily damaged by airstrikes. Buildings reduced to rubble, smoke rising from collapsed structures, and debris scattered across streets. These are the tangible effects of conflict on urban areas. While not an entire city, the destruction seen here reflects the human and infrastructural cost of war. Beyond the visible damage, airstrikes disrupt essential services, homes, and the daily lives of thousands of civilians. Analysts warn that repeated strikes on infrastructure and military targets near urban centers could escalate tensions, affecting both regional stability and global markets. Scenes like this are a stark reminder. War doesn't only occur on battlefields, it touches cities, families, and lives far from the front lines. As the crisis deepens. Donald Trump has turned his attention to NATO allies, pressing them to take on a greater share of responsibility. For years, Trump has argued that the United States carries too much of the burden when it comes to global security, especially within the NATO alliance. Now, with energy routes under threat and global markets at risk, he is demanding action, not just support in words, but real military and strategic involvement. The focus is clear: securing critical oil and shipping lanes, particularly in regions like the Strait of Hormuz, where disruption has already shaken global supply chains. But many allies remain hesitant. European nations are weighing the risks of deeper involvement, especially in a conflict outside NATO's traditional defensive scope. Trump has responded with a stark warning that if allies fail to step up, the future of the alliance itself could be in question. This moment is becoming a test of unity. Will NATO evolve into a more shared, balanced partnership? Or will divisions over responsibility weaken one of the world's most powerful alliances? As pressure mounts, the answer could redefine how global security is managed in the years ahead. Attention is now shifting to China, one of the world's largest energy consumers and a key player in this unfolding crisis. A significant portion of China's oil imports passes through the Strait of Hormuz, making stability in the region critical to its economic security. Any disruption to this vital route could have immediate consequences for China's energy supply, industrial output, and overall economic growth. As tensions escalate, Donald Trump has suggested that major diplomatic engagements, including a potential summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping, could be delayed if China does not take a more active role in addressing the situation. The message is clear. Global powers are expected to contribute to maintaining stability, especially when their economic interests are directly at stake. However, China has traditionally approached such conflicts with caution, often avoiding direct involvement while prioritizing long-term strategic interests. This creates a delicate balance between protecting economic stability and avoiding deeper geopolitical entanglement. As the situation develops, China's next move could play a crucial role in shaping not only the outcome of this crisis, but the future balance of global power. Beyond the battlefield, another conflict is unfolding: the battle over information and public perception. Donald Trump has openly criticized sections of the media for their coverage of the ongoing operation, arguing that key achievements are being downplayed while casualties and setbacks are receiving greater attention. According to Trump, this imbalance shapes how the public understands the conflict, potentially influencing both domestic opinion and international response. On the other side, many media organizations maintain that their reporting reflects the realities on the ground, including the human cost of war and the broader consequences of military action. This growing tension highlights a deeper issue: who controls the narrative during times of conflict. In modern warfare, information is no longer just a tool. It is a battlefield in itself. Competing narratives can influence political decisions, public trust, and even the direction of the conflict. As the situation continues to evolve, the divide between leadership and the media adds another layer of complexity to an already volatile global crisis. As the conflict moves beyond its initial phase, the consequences are becoming more far-reaching and complex. The humanitarian impact is growing, with communities facing displacement, damaged infrastructure, and increasing uncertainty about the future. At the same time, economic pressures are beginning to ripple across global markets. Rising energy costs, disrupted trade routes, and investor uncertainty are affecting countries far beyond the immediate conflict zone. Regionally, tensions remain high, with the risk of further escalation involving neighboring states and international powers. What began as a localized conflict is now influencing global stability, alliances, and economic systems. These ripple effects serve as a reminder that in today's interconnected world, no conflict remains isolated for long. As events continue to unfold, the decisions made by global leaders will not only shape the outcome of this war, but also define the future of international relations in the years ahead. For now, the world watches, waiting to see what comes next.